Hey guys, welcome back to another Sparkle Adventure. Today I'm going to be doing a plan with me in this Be Your Own Happy Planner. This is one of the latest planners from me and my big ideas. I love it because of these pastel discs. They're currently not being sold separately, so I had to get them with a planner, and I went with this one. It actually doesn't start until July. This is the first dashboard page, but I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead and use the April spread, which means that this is going to be from April 2020, but I'm just going to, like I said, jump ahead and I'll use date covers. I love that it's a lined vertical layout. I've never used one of those before, and I'm really excited because I think I could love vertical if it was lined as this one is. So as you can see here, we've got top boxes and then this really pretty floral at the bottom, and let's just get into it. So the inspiration for this spread definitely came from Instagram, as they all do. I follow a lot of bullet journal accounts. That's where I got my planner start, and some of them have this really cool aesthetic to them. They use doodles and all kinds of different like hodgepodgey pieces, stamps. Anyway, I love decorative bullet journaling, and there's this one account in particular, Mindful Hookup, and when I was scrolling through the other day, her spreads just caught my eye. So I went and I was looking at her profile more, and there was a link in her bio, and I was interested, so I clicked it, and that's where I came across her printable journal kits. That's what she calls them. And I chose the blooming one from April. There were a couple different options and it was hard to choose, but what I liked about the blooming one is that it had these pretty florals that I thought went with the spread very well. What I love about kits, and these in particular, is that they look like they're made up, well, like the elements of this page are made up of things that I just had in my stash or maybe found online, but it's not. I didn't have to go and do all the digging. It was all done and prepared for me. So it was so great that I could just print this out and slap it down in my planner. Itself, I wanted to start with the larger elements, figuring out where I wanted them on the pages and accessorize around them. And speaking of accessories, I've got a really cool story about the piece of paper that I ripped to put underneath that picture on the bottom left-hand corner of the spread. It's from a typewriter manual from the 1960s. One of Dan's clients knows that I'm into paper crafting and that I like vintage pieces, and a couple times a year she will so graciously send me big boxes of vintage pieces she's found, including like tablecloths, maps, books, and one of those books was this typewriter manual, and I love the coloring of the paper, and the font type was really cool, and I thought that it layered really well with that picture. Spread together, I used Instagram a ton to help me get ideas and inspiration of how I should layer these pieces, or as you'll see later, doodles that I added. This isn't a style of planner that I've done a whole lot before, and so I love Instagram, but especially the saved function that I can put together like collections of pictures that all have a similar theme. I think for this one I call it memory inspiration, because a lot of the styles of spreads I'm looking at are for memory keeping and journaling, but really you can use it for anything. As you see here, I'm putting it in a happy planner. So I love that function of Instagram, that I can put all these ideas in one place and use that as a reference. And I'll also put a list in the description of some of the bullet journal Instagram accounts that I follow that I got inspiration and ideas from to put this spread together, so you can check them out too. All right, enough chit chat. I'm going to turn up the music, let you guys watch the spread come together, and I'll pop back in at the end. Okay, so this spread was very different for me in the fact that I actually tried my hand at doodling. This is something I've seen done in a lot of planner spreads. I mean, all kinds of styles. I always tell myself that I shouldn't doodle because I'm not great at it. I mean, I really should. That's how you get better, is by practicing. But there's a ton of people that don't have like what I would consider good doodles. But the kind of handmade craftedness of them is what makes them look cool. It adds a lot to this spread. So for a couple of the elements on this page, like the box I just did, I outlined them. Even just adding that little, I don't even have to doodle. That doesn't require any like artistic skill, but it adds to the texture and the handmade craftedness of the look. So I added, like I said, outlines to some of the boxes. I also added little polka dots or crisscrosses, asterisks, stars. Just like really tiny little elements. But I will say that I love to use there I tried my hand at like a little, not a fern, but kind of like a random plant doodle with leaves. I actually kind of didn't like how it turned out, but we're just going to go with it. Can't really change it now. And a coffee cup too. Yeah, I added a coffee. Because no planner spread is complete without coffee. So I had to add that in there. So a rule that I like to stick with when it comes to designing or doodling really anything is the rule of 3. When you put 3 elements together, that's really pleasing to the eye. So a lot of times when I doodle, I'll put 3 pieces together. Kind of like if you see the box that's got the mason jar, it says Dreamer on the left-hand side of the spread, I have 3 little elements above it on the right-hand side. They really just look cute together. The spread came together. I love all the elements and that it was outside of my design comfort zone, and I tried my hand at doodling, which was a lot of fun. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Sparkle Adventures for more planner spreads and paper crafting projects. Again, this was so much fun. I hope you guys love this spread, and I'll see you later. Bye!